Okay, so today I want to talk about elderly protecting themselves, even maybe some self-defense. But in particular, I just want to say that we have, as elder people, I'm 60 years old. I know I'm not as old as some of you, but I'm definitely older than some of you. And I feel a whole lot older than I did when I was 30. So one of the things that we have going for us is wisdom. That nobody's going to take that away. So the best way to defend yourself is to stay out of trouble. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to just assess your baseline. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is everything around you either fits or it doesn't in any particular place. If I'm in Walmart's parking lot, for instance, I expect people to be walking back and forth. I expect some people to be sitting in some cars somewhere. I expect to see the people pushing the carts together and taking them into the store. So if there's somebody or something that does not fit, I'm going to avoid that area. Even if I have to walk to my car, if I have to walk around a little bit, walk up another aisle to get to my car, I'm going to do that. So if you do that in every situation, and you do to some degree because, you're driving cars, you've been driving your whole lives, you've lived, and you're not dead yet. So you obviously can detect when something's wrong. You can pull off the side of the road when it looks like an accident is going to come your way. It's the same thing with people. If somebody doesn't meet the baseline, if they don't belong there, or they're not acting the way everybody else is, there might be something wrong. There might not be something wrong. It doesn't make any difference to us. We want to stay out of trouble. So assess your baseline. And in the military, when we were on a patrol, we would do security stops. And we did something called SILS, and that's stop, look, listen, and smell. That's another way of saying we're assessing the baseline. We're looking around for things that don't fit. A good example of this was the gun barrel sticking out of a fence line at the golf course where President Trump was. The Secret Service guy saw a barrel. He saw something that didn't meet the baseline, and he took action, and a crisis was averted. You can always do this, and you should be doing this all the time. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is giving away your information. Your information is precious. You should keep it to yourself. So let's say, for example, you're checking people out at a grocery store or a Walmart or whatever. And somebody's in line, and you don't know these people. You might have seen them before in line, probably have. But all of a sudden they ask you, wow, are you going to get to enjoy any of this beautiful day today? And then you might answer, because you don't want the silence, or you don't want to be rude, you might answer, no, man, I'm working here till 11. Well, in the first place, the person didn't even ask you that. He asked you, are you going to get to enjoy any of this beautiful day? Okay, in first place, it's none of his business. I've done this. I've done this to checkout girls repeatedly at Walmart as an exercise to teach my daughters about their own private information. And the first time I did it, my daughters, as we walked out of the store, said, how did you get her to tell you all that? All I did was ask one question, and that question was never answered. But everything else about this person was. I found out from some of them what kind of car they drive, and that they're upgrading their cars soon, and what time they get off and what time they start work. Okay, I got to tell you, 11 o'clock at night at Walmart, you don't want to be walking out to your car alone after you just told somebody that you're going to be walking out to your car at 11 o'clock at night. And you don't have to be young. If you're older, you might be more trusting. You might think, that person doesn't want to hurt me. Well, these people, in the first place, anybody that's going to hurt anybody is a bad person. They're nasty. And you never know. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is your fitness. Stay as fit as you can for as long as you can. So if that means parking in the back of the parking lot and walking to the store instead of parking up front as far as you can, do that. If it means taking a walk every day, you know, everybody has their own level of fitness. Some people are 75 years old and still running marathons. I am not one of them. I'm 60 and I'm not running a marathon. I do spend an awful lot of time in the woods doing bushcraft and things of that nature. But, you know, everybody's not there. Everybody has their own fitness and their own limitations. So stay as fit as you can. Stay as agile as you can. So make sure that you can, you know, maybe if you're still at that level, maybe you can take 5 steps running or moving side to side, moving up and down, move your arms like this so that you can guard from somebody trying to hit you. Now, in many places, you're not going to be able to carry things to protect yourself. Now, you know, I mean, I can guarantee you I can. I live in Missouri, and I'm allowed to carry guns and batons and knives and just about anything I want. Everybody's not there. Some people live in places where that's more restrictive. Find out what you're allowed to carry in your area. And it may very well be just your cane or a walking stick or something like that you could actually just make space for yourself, which is important. You just make space. Swinging a cane can be effective. All you're doing is making space. You're making a fuss. You're making others aware that you may need help. Now, unfortunately, we live in a world where people don't like to get involved. So you may have to do this on your own. But yeah, do whatever you can to keep making space between you and your adversary. And that's important. So things that you're carrying that are not necessarily weapons. When I'm walking to the car, and I've done this forever. I mean, heck, when I was young and able to fight and everything else, I carried, if I'm not carrying a gun on my strong side, I'm left-handed, my keys were out and they were in my left hand, like this. This is a weapon. So you've got that. Do not unlock all of your doors at the same time. Now I know that when you stick this key in a door, or you have a remote and you click it twice, it'll unlock all the doors. You don't want to do that. We want to keep some area denial. So that means to deny others the opportunity to enter a space that we own, that we control and we should control, like our car. If you only unlock the door that's necessary at that time, you still have some level of denial for other people that don't belong in that car. So I'm not a big fan of all the locks opening at the same time, but I know the cars do it and I know we get in the habit of doing it. Well, get out of that habit. Unlock the door that you need to unlock, get in, and then lock the door immediately. Deny anybody else entry into your vehicle that doesn't belong there. So if you can carry, that's great. Carry. But don't be looking for trouble. You know, just because you're carrying a gun or you're carrying a case or you're carrying a collapsible baton like this, that doesn't mean you have to look for an opportunity to use it. I see all the time people, all of a sudden they get a gun and they see trouble around every corner. I'm telling you, it's not. You can live a relatively peaceful life. Just be ready for the not peaceful life when it happens. So, yeah, avoid being a show-off or looking for trouble. However, do not look like a victim. Don't walk out in the parking lot with your hands in your pockets and looking down at the ground or anything like that. Keep your head on a swivel. Look like a predator. when you're walking to your car or whatever the case, look around you. Be assessing the area, assess the baseline everywhere you're at, and look for that trouble, and avoid it. You see the trouble? Oh, it's over there. Well, okay. I'm just going to nonchalantly walk over to the next row over and move up to my car, and then I'm going to come over. That way I'm not in the line of fire for, and I guess I shouldn't say fire, but I'm not putting myself in trouble in an area or a place where there's going to be trouble. Like I said, I'm 60 years old. I'm a disabled veteran. I've got back problems. I've got knee problems. I'm not a guy that's going to want to get in a fist fight, and I certainly don't want to have to shoot anybody. Honestly, I have a rule about deploying my firearm, and it is very simple. If it's not worth dying for, and that means if I wouldn't give it to somebody if they had a gun to my head, I'm not going to kill them for it. I'm going to give it to them. If somebody's robbing me and that's what they want, I'm going to give it to them. However, nobody in my life is not worth dying for. So I will take action in that regard. And I think that's just a sane way to look at it. So, got black walnuts falling everywhere. I'm going to have to go get some. So keep yourself fit, keep yourself agile, be self-aware. Use your wisdom. It's what you have. It's what you're going to keep getting as you get older and older and older. It's what the bad guys that are younger do not have. They might have physical prowess, they might have strength, they might have endurance on you, but they don't have your wisdom. And, if you don't look like a victim, you're a lot less likely to become a victim. Okay, that's all I got for now, and we'll do another one of these later. Because I want to talk about more non-lethal weapons and more things that you can carry to defend yourself. So stay safe, everybody.